I don't feel anything for you anymore. That's what she said, calm, cold, like she was reading a grocery list. No anger. No tears. Just emptiness. I remember staring at her across the kitchen table, trying to understand what those words really meant. We'd been together for 4 years, married for 2. We'd built a life. A small apartment, a shared dog, Sunday routines. And now she was saying she didn't feel anything for me. First I laughed. I actually laughed because it felt absurd. You mean you're just tired, right? I asked. We've both been stressed, we can fix this. She shook her head slowly. No, I've tried. I just don't feel it anymore. Something in her eyes told me she meant it. It wasn't anger or pain, it was detachment. Like she'd already moved on emotionally. I didn't argue much after that. I didn't beg. I just said, okay. Then I grabbed my jacket, packed a few things and left. It was the quietest breakup imaginable. No shouting, no slammed doors. Just silence, the kind that follows you, heavy and constant. For weeks I stayed at a friend's place trying to make sense of it. Every night I replayed our last few months together. The late night scrolling on her phone, the excuses not to go out, the sudden girls' weekends. I told myself I was paranoid back then. I wanted to believe she was just struggling with work or stress. But deep down, I knew something was off. Then about a month later I ran into her best friend, Julia. She and my ex, Emma, had been inseparable since college. Julia was the kind of person who always knew everyone's secrets, but kept her own locked away. She saw me at the coffee shop, hesitated and then walked over. Hey, she said softly, setting her drink down. How are you holding up? I shrugged. I've been better. She gave me this sad little smile, then looked around like she was checking if anyone was listening. You deserve to know something, she whispered. Those words made my stomach drop. You deserve to know something. Nothing good ever comes after that. She hesitated, then continued. Emma's been seeing someone. For a while, actually. I stared at her, trying to process it. What do you mean, a while? Julia looked guilty. Since before you two separated. Maybe 6 months? I didn't know how to tell you. I tried to stay out of it. It felt like the floor disappeared beneath me. 6 months. That meant all those girls' weekends and late-night work calls were just cover stories. I couldn't even speak. Julia kept talking, her words soft but sharp. I told her to come clean. She said she didn't want to hurt you. That she'd just fallen out of love. Fallen out of love. I repeated, my voice hollow. Right. Julia sighed, eyes full of pity. I know this doesn't help, but it wasn't just some random guy. It's someone you know. I felt my throat tighten. Who? She hesitated again. Evan. I froze. Evan was my coworker, a guy I'd helped get hired at my company last year. We'd gone out for beers, he'd come over for dinner. I even introduced him to Emma. I remember that first dinner vividly now, the way they laughed about stupid TV shows, the way she poured him another glass of wine before I even asked. I didn't think much of it back then. I trusted her. Julia reached for my hand, maybe to comfort me, but I pulled away. I'm sorry, she said quietly. I shouldn't have said anything, but you deserved the truth. That night I sat in my car for nearly an hour, just staring at the steering wheel. My hands were shaking. I wasn't sure if it was rage or heartbreak or both. I didn't confront her right away. I needed proof. Something in me needed to see it with my own eyes. So I did something I'm not proud of. I went to her apartment one evening, the one we used to share. I still had a key. Her car was parked outside and another car, Evan's, was next to it. My heart pounded as I walked up the stairs. I didn't even have to open the door to know. Through the thin walls I heard laughter. Her laughter. The same laugh that used to fill our home. I didn't knock. I just turned around and walked back down the stairs. But before I left, I slipped the key under the doormat with a note that simply said, "You don't have to lie anymore." That was it. No screaming. No confrontation. Just quiet resignation. For weeks after, I felt like a ghost, moving through life, doing my job, pretending to be fine. Everyone told me time heals everything. They were wrong. Time doesn't heal betrayal. It just teaches you how to live with it. A few months later, Julia texted me again. She said Emma and Evan had broken up. Apparently, he cheated on her with someone from work. I didn't even feel satisfaction. Just emptiness. Julia asked if I wanted to meet for coffee. I agreed, mostly out of curiosity. When we met, she looked uneasy. I didn't tell you everything before, she admitted. Emma wasn't just unhappy, she was jealous. You were doing well, getting promoted, focused, and she felt like you didn't need her anymore. That's why she started seeing Evan. He made her feel wanted. I laughed bitterly. So she destroyed what we had because she needed attention? Julia nodded. Pretty much. And when you left, she realized too late what she'd done. For the first time, I didn't feel heartbreak. I felt clarity. She didn't lose me because she stopped feeling love. She lost me because she stopped respecting me. That night, I deleted her number, every photo, every memory I'd been clinging to. I let her ghost stay in the past where it belonged. And for the first time in months, I slept without replaying her voice in my head. Sometimes I still think about that moment, her saying, "I don't feel anything for you." Now I realize she was right, in a way. She didn't feel anything for me. But one day, she'll remember the man who did everything to love her. And she'll feel that emptiness instead. Because in the end, walking away wasn't my loss. It was hers.